I have some super important golden rules that only a few designers are taking notice of. And today we're not covering the basics that everyone's mentioned a billion times before, things like keep your design simple or don't use too many fonts. Now, if you follow today's first golden rule, your designs will keep up to date with the constant evolution and shaping of interests and preferences of the general public. As a designer, you should probably try and keep up with pop culture because it's actually way more important than you probably realize. By staying current with pop culture trends, graphic designers can create artwork that resonates with their target audience, making that work more relevant, relatable, and engaging. Incorporating elements from popular movies, music, fashion, or even internet memes, it can actually help designers connect with their audience on a more profound and a more deep level. This clever set of designs uses Pantone cards mixed with pop culture references, and the design is instantly more interesting, intriguing to audiences. Now you can check out websites like Foobist, which do have dedicated pop culture sections on the website so you can keep up to date with trends. And also, when you're researching pop culture, you'll likely realize that you become inspired whilst conducting that research. Of course, it won't be relevant to all your briefs. It's no good just slapping Walter White onto a brochure for a funeral business, as an example. But being popped with culture is a powerful weapon a designer can have in their toolkit, ready to use whenever. The next golden rule is big. It's a biggie. Jesse Nyberg has mastered the rule in his work, and also Elliot in his work too. Two awesome design channels that you probably should check out, by the way. The golden rule that they've mastered is to carve out your own design style. But you knew that already, right? However, do you understand the gravity, the importance of it? Once you've found a passion in design and crafted a specific style of work, you will then become super recognizable and have certain clients gravitating to you for repeat work. Having a strong style is the best way to actually be seen in a sea of online designers these days. So try and work on your unique design style and see how the style can actually be reflected by your personality. That does help a lot too. However, you still need to ensure your work addresses the brief and your client's needs first and foremost. And the next golden rule might actually surprise you, or you might actually be surprised by how important it is. If you've ever had a really bad creative block or found yourself procrastinating to the point where you'd rather clean dishes than design something, then it might just simply be down to instant gratification. Every time we scroll through social media, eat junk food, spend hours playing video games and so on, we're hijacking the dopamine response in our brain. In this way, we're actually teaching ourselves that we don't need to be productive to feel good. This breeds an environment where it becomes harder and harder to be productive and to be creative. So the golden rule here is to try and limit the instant gratification that the majority of society is falling for these days. It will be difficult at first, but the more you train yourself to be productive and to feel good from being productive, the easier it will be in the long run. There's one way to supercharge your designs and make a highly targeted visual language. Some people don't want to hear it, but imagine you're tasked to design a logo for a new tech startup. How can you ensure your design actually relates back to an essence of a brand, or how does it resonate with the target audience? How can you position the logo so it competes with the brand's competition? The only way you can do this each and every time without fail is to do research. Research is your secret weapon for creating impacting, memorable designs. It will elevate your work from ordinary to extraordinary. It ensures your designs connect with the audience on a deeper level, evoking emotions and forging lasting impressions. And that's why research will always be a golden rule on any list. Now here's an oxymoron. The next rule is to break rules. Well, actually, that's not the full story. As a graphic designer, you should learn all of the principal rules like hierarchy, balance, alignment, and all of that good stuff. Not only learn it, but to become a master in it. Get to a point where you can look at any design, for example this design here, and you can see where hierarchy is being used, where the white space exists, and why the designer has done certain things such as use grayscale with just one color. Once you are at that point, once you become a master of the rules, then you can start breaking the rules in your projects and seeing how that can actually fit into a brief. Having fun while pushing the rules can make original designs, and it shows the maturity of a designer and how they've actually grown to respect and then bend the rules. Adobe recently introduced a new feature into Photoshop, And that's where you can use prompts to instantly add elements onto your imagery and your design work. It is pretty cool, but it illustrates a very important golden rule. As a graphic designer in 2023, you should embrace AI. And no, I don't mean you should be using it to make actual designs, but rather you should be using it within your workflow to save time, to generate ideas, or to test concepts. Designers who shun AI or neglect it, they're the ones who are going to fall behind, because this industry is moving at lightning speed, and so it pays really well to actually keep up to date with technology and how it's moving and advancing. AI is not a replacement for human creativity, but a powerful ally that can amplify the creative process, elevate design outcomes, and redefine the boundaries of graphic design. Now we're going to look at 2 bonus tips that actually relate back to today's video, and it's something I've spoken about before, but they are important. Memory hooks. Think how you can add something to your design that is unique, that will really help embed itself into the memory of the viewer. The thing is though, it needs to be relevant to the message and also the brief, but let me explain. This bottled water design does it really well. People who buy this will remember the cool concept of that whale on the design. It's a talking point among other people and groups of friends, and it's one way how products spread throughout communities. And then you have this brand here who are selling something as simple as fabric wool. But look at the packaging on this product. It's creative, it's fun, and it's memorable. Now I can almost guarantee, without checking beforehand, that this company probably sells their product for about 3 or 4 times the price of their competitors, simply because of the packaging alone. Okay, maybe not 3 or 4 times more expensive, but it will be more pricey. Humor is a great way to create a memory hook, just like this bag design right here. It's a unique and fun design, again super memorable, and it's a great way to elevate something like a standard brown bag. Other designs can be memorable because they are weird or shocking. This poster gives a lot of room to that shouting head graphic, which, might I add, is basically all mouth and nothing else. This graphic is striking and it will likely be memorable to the viewer. Memory hooks are ever so more important these days due to the amount of design work that the average person consumes every single day online, their smartphones and so on. Now, does your design have a narrative? Or shall I say, does the brief call for an actual narrative to be used? Hashtag break up with your bank. This is a mini marketing campaign for Starling Bank. It's a relatively new form of banking aimed at younger people which are trying to remove the old traditional banking systems. So that's the narrative, but how does the design play into it? Firstly, using a hashtag is obviously aiming things at the younger tech-savvy kind of audiences. Breaking up with the bank also relates back to relationships and breakups, something younger people tend to go through more than older people. The imagery used points to the old and tedious forms of money management and banking, and they are literally just torn apart. It's a really clever narrative that has been executed really efficiently. Now here's another design selling an organic kind of shampoo. We can see how the color palettes are very muted and very restrictive, which highlights the minimal nature of the design, which actually highlights the purity and organic nature of the product. The design also uses hand-drawn illustrations that makes it seem more genuine and more natural and organic. It would be very different if the design used very straight angled lines instead of these organic hand-drawn ones. Know the narrative, know how to use the narrative, and then express that narrative. And if you want to learn about more ways to master this world of graphic design, just click that video on screen. And until next time guys, design your future today. Peace.